Good evening and welcome to week 2 of the policy course. I enjoyed reading all of your first discussion board assignments about your affiliation with 2 communities that have been instrumental in your personal and professional development. Some of you missed some of the assignments, so please make sure that you're reading all of the instructions as you're doing each of the assignments in this course. We move quickly with pretty detailed assignments throughout, so I'm hoping that everyone will get on board and be able to do what's needed to be successful in this course. If anyone has any questions, please absolutely reach out to me. I am very available, as I've said in several emails, by phone or by text, as well as by email. Okay, so on to week 2. This week you have 3 things that you need to do. The first is that some of you paired yourselves for your dyads, others I paired you, and by this weekend you need to tell me what your identified community is that you will be doing your work with for assignments 2, 3, and 4. So all I need to know is who the dyad is, which I'm aware of, but when you send the email, please list that again, and what your choice is for community for your assignments. And I will reply to your email and let you know if you're on target for what you're picking. It can be a geographic community, it can be a population of interest, it can be a subset of, a community by some sort of demographic designation, for example, a racial group, an ethnic group, a church group, a group based on sexual orientation, gender identity. This is very broadly defined in terms of what you mean by community. So if you have any question on that part of this week, please let me know. The next part is what's called assignment 1, and that is what is called My Community in Words and Pictures. This is something that you do individually. It's creating a 8 to 10 minute presentation using pictures and words of your community, and this is a geographic community. And you want to make sure that you read the article Seeking a Good Community, because part of the assignment is weaving in the material from that article to your presentation and answering the question, is your community a good community? And how are you defining that? So please read through the assignment. It's broken up into sections: your demographic description of your community, the overview of important institutions, the map of your community, and then your good community assessment. Each section, recognizing, broken up into pieces that you can include as part of your presentation. If you have any questions on that, please let me know. This is due Thursday by midnight, and then you are tasked to watch one of your classmates and do a response by Sunday night as part of a discussion. The next assignment is week 2, local politics. Given that this is the week before our national elections, it is certainly timely that we're discussing the idea of politics and political affiliation and the evolution of who's in control in your local community, your state community, and then, briefly, the national community. So as part of that is describing what is the political life of your community. So can you identify voter registration profiles? I don't know if anyone in the course has been getting these, but in our county, they're actually sending out information. It's been coming for the last several days of what my voting history is, as well as my neighbors. It's not sending it out with names of my neighbors or addresses, but it's saying that those who live on my street, this is their voting. Sorry if it went blank there for a minute. The computer turned off. what is their voting record, not who they voted for, but whether they voted in each of the last primary and November elections. I've never before seen anything like that, so I don't know if that's something that's being paid for by our voter registration board in Lackawanna County, or if that's something that's being pushed nationally. And what they're saying in the material is that while who you vote for is private, your voting record is public. So I guess, I'm this is new for me, but whether they're saying that information can be shared on whether or not you participate in your civic responsibility as a voter. So if you know any more in your own local community about that, I welcome you to share that as part of your discussion post. So as part of this, discuss, who's in political office in your communities, and then what are the reasons that you think that these individuals have risen to become an elected official in your town, your region, at the state level, if you want to discuss that. Several of you are from the Philadelphia area. I'm always intrigued by the mayors of Philadelphia. I actually grew up in South Jersey, so followed, Philadelphia politics throughout my life, going back to Mayor Good in the 1980s when there was the controversy over what happened with the MOVE compound, to the most recent controversy with Mayor Kenney, who is questioning what the Archbishop is saying about who can receive communion this past summer. So Philadelphia mayors have certainly been on the forefront of both local issues, but also addressing some national issues. For those of you who are from New Jersey, Governor Christie has certainly been a name that's been in and out of the news over the last couple of years, both within your state and at the national level. And I know that we have at least one individual from the Midwest, from a more rural community. So, to share the impact of what's happening in the rural areas and how much, your region is being impacted by some of the political action that's happening in communities in the Midwest and the response by mayors and other elected officials. So you do your initial prompt, starting with the bullets that are provided, and then I welcome you to share anything else that you want. I've already mentioned that if you're comfortable to discuss any of your own political journey, that is certainly welcome. There's no judgment on anything in terms of political affiliation and your own personal journey. This is an opportunity to learn from each other through our own lived experience, both through our families of origin, our workplace, and then, what we're comfortable to share personally. And then you are to respond to two classmates discussing the similarities and differences that you see between your community's political life and that of your classmates. Original post is due by Thursday, and the two responses are due by Sunday. Please make sure that you read the readings related to local politics on the syllabus and watch the video that is there regarding local elections. Okay, so they are the assignments for this week. If you have any questions about any of that, certainly let me know, and I look forward to reading everything that you have written. I have not yet read the Stonewall assignment. I will get to that tomorrow and have those graded by tomorrow night. I'm very excited to read those. As I mentioned in one of my emails, the history of Stonewall is something that is very meaningful to me personally, having come out as a lesbian in the 1980s and been very active in the HIV service delivery system very early on here in northeastern Pennsylvania. I was the first HIV/AIDS case manager for the region in 1990, when this area was still, thinking it was those people from that area, which I've never figured out where that area is. But, the political activism of groups such as ACT UP that really drew some of its model from what happened in Stonewall. So I look forward to reading what you all wrote and sharing some of my own lived experience with you in my responses. As I was responding, and I will continue to do this throughout the course, I will try and share resources with you that I feel may be useful to you in your professional, experience right now, or in things that you share with me that I may know of something. I see that as one of my greatest gifts, or resource, things, greatest asset. That was the word I was looking for. My greatest asset as a faculty member is that I am aware of a lot of resources and like to share resources with students, both historical resources and contemporary resources. So if I ever share something in a response to you and you would like more information, please reach out and I'd be glad to talk with you more. All right, everybody, have a great week, and I hope you enjoy these assignments. Thanks.